I just found out that Donald Trump called Kamala Harris a monster and a communist. And, I've been called a communist, and I think it's an honor when pinheads call me a communist, because there are a lot of people that don't even know the word communism means, and I don't really give a fuck what people call me. But the reason why I have this video right now is I want people to vote. It's extremely important to vote. I've been politically active since 1993. I've been active for the rights of poor people, for the rights of women, for the rights of women on welfare and their rights, and for the rights of African Americans. And I've been there, and I've been arrested, and been very honored of being arrested for the things that I believe in. This is a unique country. And our forefathers were unique of putting together a constitution and a Bill of Rights and American laws. And we should not take those things for granted. We should not take those things for granted. Our forefathers were the followers of the Enlightenment, of Voltaire and of Rousseau and John Locke. And I think our forefathers would turn over their grave if the American people would give up on this experiment, this American experiment. And it's about time that people vote, and vote by like you never voted in your life. And tell your friends, tell everyone to vote, And I'm making this video because I'm quite worried that about the future. That if Donald Trump gets elected again, what do we have in our future if Trump cheats? And there's a civil war in the streets. Because there are a lot of people that hate Trump's guts. There are a lot of people that hate Trump's guts. And there are a lot of people that are not going to put up with Trump's shenanigans and calling people names. And Trump acts like it's 2016 all over again, that he could do the same bullshit that he did in 2016. But 2016, this is not 2016. This is 2020. We're dealing with coronavirus. We're dealing with unemployment. We're dealing with a lot of things. People are losing their houses. They're losing their, getting kicked out of their apartments. There are people who are homeless during the pandemic. We're not getting any type of stimulus from the government. So this is totally a different situation compared to 2016. And it's very sad that people didn't vote in 2016. I don't want to guilt trip anyone or anything like that, but it's very disheartening that this is how the whole thing started, is that people did not vote in 2016. And Trump won by the skin of his teeth because people stayed home in 2016. And the whole question was, what would Hillary Clinton do? If Hillary is such a monster, how would Hillary handle the coronavirus that we're dealing with right now, and the financial problems and everything, compared to Trump? So you voted against your own interests when you voted for Trump, or you stayed home. You voted against your own interests. And I I think it should be a good memory tale for people to vote, you know, in November 3rd, and to vote for the rest of your life, and to be active in your community, because we are American citizens, and we have a right to be treated like human beings. And I think that's what American people forget. They forget that you're an American citizen and you have rights. You have rights. And it's very important to read the Constitution. I got a couple little books of the Constitution somewhere. I can't find it. It's very important to educate yourself. It's very important to be... It's not that difficult. Instead of watching the football game, read some books, read Howard Zinn, and go to the library, on a weekend. Or if you have children, you and your children could go to the library and educate yourself. If Malcolm X can do it, why can't you? If Malcolm X could educate himself and turn a bad thing into a good thing, why can't you? Why can't you read books? And there have been a lot of people of color who ended up in prison and got, a high school diploma, and a lot of them got college degrees in prison because they were willing to educate themselves. They had the time to educate themselves. They had the opportunity to read at the prison library and stuff like that. Why can't you? Instead of watching the football game and whatever, and you could watch the football game at any time. You could watch the football game at any time. We should be the most educated country in the world. And I think a lot of people think that, oh, you think you're better than me. I think American people have that attitude of being ignorant is superior than being educated. I mean, there are Scandinavian countries that speak their Scandinavian languages, and they speak English. And they speak it well. They speak it better than we do. They speak English. Because their educational system is better than ours. But instead of saying, oh, you think you're better than me, and this and that, it has nothing to do with being better than anybody. It has a lot to do with doing the right thing. And being educated is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be an educated person. And it takes a lot of chutzpah to educate yourself. You don't have to go to the U of M or to the universities, to American universities. You could educate yourself. You could take the time to do it. And I think, in a way, our politicians want us to stay stupid. I think in many ways, our politicians want us to be stupid. But Donald Trump calling Kamala Harris a senator of a state of California a monster and a communist, it should never be accepted by any country and by any group of people. And we need to stand up, and we need to. And a lot of people said that Kamala didn't, that Mike Pence did a good job, speaking last night, and Kamala was very sober at the VP debates last night, and she was. And I think Joe Biden told Kamala to be very, light on Pence, because, Joe Biden is ahead in the polls. And Donald Trump does have coronavirus, and Joe Biden does have a heart. He does have a heart, and he stopped putting ads about, negative ads about Donald Trump, because of Donald Trump has COVID. But still, Joe Biden is ahead. But, the thing is that there is going to be blood in the streets. But after this civil war that we're going to go through, and I think we're going to go through a civil war. If Donald Trump wins, there's going to be a lot of people in the streets, and there's going to be a lot of blood in the streets. There's going to be the protest for George Floyd in May. It's going to make that look like a party, because people are angry. And I wish there was a peaceful end to this situation, but people are so passionate about wanting to get rid of Trump, and then there's the other side that are passionate that like Trump. But we need to stay together, and we need to vote, and we need to be active in our community. But people are very passionate, and there is going to be fights and probably a mini civil war in the streets. Either way, Trump wins or if he doesn't win. But it's the good people that pick up the baton of our forefathers, and pick up the baton that Bernie Sanders left on the ground. We do have rights, and we shouldn't take our rights for granted. And we need to vote, and we need to stay active in our community. And hopefully in the future Biden administration, that progressive people speak to Joe Biden and tell Joe Biden how they feel. And I just had to make another video, because I just thought it was a president of the United States calling a senator a communist and a monster. I had to say something. I was on my way to go out to do something, and it's about 8:53 in the morning, and it's tiresome. Donald Trump is like an 8-year-old child, like Ilhan Omar said. And he's like a Dennis the Menace. And he's a very tiresome individual. And he's a very sick individual in many ways. So, don't be in despair. And use your despair into voting and into educating yourself and to being active in your community. And we're going to get through this as Americans. So I hope people watch my videos. I hope I'm not that boring or ugly looking. And I hope my videos are accessible for people. And I do care about people, and I do care about humanity. And the main thing to do is to vote and to love one another. So I'll see you when I see you.